Exactly. For tables.
You're talking about the river bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're doing the, putting the slab.
Okay. Just giving a status, because I know we've been talking about that for a while. Anything else? No? We gave some direction. So we'll be discussing stuff next time.
Okay, essentially the reason I put this back on is because council had asked, kind of at the last minute in our budget discussion, if the RDA could purchase property from the city so that you wouldn't have to use reserve funds. Specifically, I looked at the gun club, and it is legal for the RDA to purchase that piece of property from the city. So what we put this back on the agenda to get the direction from council. Do you want to go forward with that process, because we would need to do a transfer of property from RDA to the city, and then what other money did you want to use to balance the budget? Was it the fund balance?
Well, I'd like to move on that particular item to get the that parcel, the gun club and the Finnegan property and the technology center transferred into RDA.
The Finnegan property, as far as I'm
Did you mention,
aware,
is that the one you said?
I researched that, and my impression is that it is owned by the water department, so that money could not be used to go to the general fund. If we sold the Finnegan property, if RDA purchased it, then the money would go to the water enterprise account. As far as I know.
There were two properties that were mentioned at the last council meeting.
Right, and one of
Those two
those,
would be one in, to help out.
but one of those is enterprise funds. Preliminarily, that's what I've been told, is that that's enterprise funds, so it wouldn't help to balance the budget.
So then we do the gun club and the technology center.
The technology center, do you mean the Carnegie? I don't know if that's appropriate to use for the RDA to purchase that.
The two best parcels for the private payment would be the gun club and First Aid. That's what we're talking about.
Those are items that are within the redevelopment project area and plan for redevelopment.
We have appraisals on those.
Yes, we do.
Get the documentation, bring it back for us for a transfer. Do I have a motion? Oh, I make a motion to do that. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion. All those opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Item number 14. I'd like to table this item. No changes. Either direction. I think until we can.
I'd like to actually make a motion to deny the department head 5% salary adjustment. That's my motion.
I made one. Let me go through the process. I made a motion to table it. Do I have a second? Table it.
I like the table.
I have a first and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed.
All those opposed?
Because I'd like to make a motion now to deny it. Because, we just have to put it away and not discuss it anymore. I'd like to make a motion to deny this 5% salary adjustment.
I'll second.
I have a first and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Opposed. Motion passed. Item number 15, information items. Information on neighborhood house community services event list. Do we have those in our possession? I mean, not in our possession. Is anybody talk about that? Anybody here from the community house? Neighborhood house?
I think they gave us a calendar of events.
Okay. So just acknowledge receipt item 15, 16, and do we have any requests from council on 17 besides what's been discussed?
Well, we have two items.
My request on 17 is to bring 16 back to us because there is no information. Okay?
Specifically, what information?
We talked about discussing CFD. Timing is very bad, and we don't want to have another project of residential with the same situation that we have with the Hearthstone Pacific. Everybody is familiar with this case. I think we need to revisit it and be cautious about the next CFD that we're doing.
Unless they're disclosed, you mean, to the client?
No, I think the CFD is tied to a bond, and this is where I think we need to revisit and maybe not tie CFD to a bond. We have to look at other options which we have where the city is not involved in litigation and spending all this time and having all these homeowners coming to City Hall and and it's just a mess.
That may be more of a planning process.
Uh,
And so if we're not gonna take on projects that have CFDs, you know.
No, that's it,
I don't
but I'd
know.
like to see the options of what other mechanism there is to finance the infrastructure.
You want maybe a workshop?
Yes, maybe
So
workshop.
maybe a workshop as opposed to information.
Good.
Okay? Item 16, working, okay.
Now, you do have a say about the school request for the next
Can we
agenda.
tag to that?
No, the next agenda, the schools.
Yep. Okay. We have the money, we have that, we have, we'll now move into Calexico Community Redevelopment Agency. I have a consent agenda. No, this is now the RDA session.
Oh, I see.
It's confusing because the first agenda has the Community Redevelopment Agency as the title, so.
Well, I'd like to, yeah, maybe they can keep it in a second page and have a separator.
Okay. Any changes in motion to approve consent agenda 18-19-20?
This should be, Jonathan, this is probably the consent agenda by the Redevelopment Agency as 1, 2, 3, instead of 18, 19, 20.
Okay, just let Lily prepare the agenda. So if that's how you want it to be numbered, start the numbering
Can we
over.
separate it?
Oh, so start at one again?
Yeah. Separate page?
1, 2, 3.
Renumber.
The one recommendation I did mention to Lily was not to have an adjournment of the city council meeting before the RDA, because sometimes we do have crossovers, and so it's nice to be able to keep the umbrella of that we're acting in both the redevelopment agency and the city council, but in order to address Councilman Romero's request to have them separate, she can put them on a separate page and number them. We're just not going to adjourn the meetings in between, just so that we cover all bases.
Okay. And if it's half a page, I mean, whatever you can say. If there's only 2 items, just separate it. Start with 1, 2, 3. Okay, do I have a motion to approve consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. Do I have a second? First and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Motion to reconvene to close session.